Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. From today, the 1st August, we will start another subject, that is Ramayana. And it's a beautiful story along with the teaching, very high spiritual teaching. So we will follow the steps of Sri Ramachandra and also learn about the spirituality. Along with that, we will have a little picture about the ancient time of India. So we begin with this sloka, Apadama Apahartaram, right? Please repeat after me. Apadama Apahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampradam Loka Viramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamaham. Who protects from dangers, Apadam Apahartaram, and Dataram Sarva Sampradam, and bestow wealth on them. He is the giver, the bestower of the wealth. And wealth, there are two different types. One is the worldly, another spiritual. And Loka Viramam Sri Ramam, he makes everyone happy. Rama, that the meaning, the word Rama means happiness. And he makes people happy. So everyone happy. And I repeatedly bow down to that Sri Rama. And another Rama, is that there? Ramaya Ramachandraya Ramabhadraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Nama. I salute to Sri Rama. Who is Sri Rama? Who is attractive like a full moon. The people always look at that full moon. He is like that. Whose presence assures protection. The Rama is always giving the protection, and who is famous among the Raghu dynasty, Raghu clan, and the husband of Sita, master of all. So they are introducing Sri Ramachandra. So this is what Sri Ramachandra is a wonderful story. Sri Ramachandra is a wonderful story. And the famous story of the Jammu Deepa. Many of us, we have not heard the name, the word, the Jammu Deepa. What is this Jammu Deepa? According to the Purana, there are 7 continents. And the very ancient. Now, we have to remember, when we were discussing about the Ramayana, immediately after the Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga came. And then Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and presently it is Kali. So you can imagine from the Kali to that Yuga. So that was the time when the Indian people, they used to think that the whole world, they are having 7 islands, the continents. Sapta Deepa Basumati. Basumati is that universe and this world, that is Sapta Deepa. There are 7 Deepas. And one of the Deepa is Jammu Deepa. It is believed that the name came from the jamun, that's the Indian blackberry. So Jammu Deepa was full with that, so the name came out of that. In the Markandeya Purana, we have some Puranas, 18 Puranas. In the Markandeya Purana, it describes this land as is a plain land in north and south. See, that plain explanation is also goes with our own experience. Those who have visited India, they know the plain land in north and south, elevated in the middle, known as Ilavarta. That is a Himalayan range. And we have to remember that it is not the present day India. It is the India from Afghanistan. So beyond that Himalaya, there was land. So they say it is north and south, it was the very plain land, and elevated in the middle, that is called Ilavarta, and in the center was the center of the Ilavarta was Himalaya. So giving an idea, before telling you the story, they like to give you an idea of the land that they are going to explain. Then Brahmananda Purana, Jain, the scripture, Buddhist scripture, all they refer to Jambu Deepa. The Jambu Deepa, the word we find, they refer to all this. The famous Sanskrit grammarian, Panini, he also referred the name Jammu Deepa. Why I am mentioning this? Because the Jammu Deepa, that was mentioned in all the scripture. And because of that, we can believe there was a land like this. In the Vishnu Purana, we find a description of the land, but name has been changed. The same description of the land, but now it is not Jammu Deepa, it becomes Bharatavarsha, the same land. And in the Vishnu Purana, they mention in this way, Uttaram Yat Samudrasya. In the north, there are oceans. Himadraschaiva Dakshinam. And the south, it is the Himalaya. Varsham Tad Bharatam Nama. That is the place which is known as Bharatavarsha. Bharati Yatra Samsriti. And the people are known as Bharati. This is the introduction of the land, and the north we find the Himalaya, but beyond the Himalaya, that they are not counting this time. Previously, they mentioned the middle is the Himalaya, at the back of and the front of Himalaya, plain lands. That's true. Now, when they give the idea of the Bharatvarsha, it changes. The name Bharata came from, the name of the Bharatvarsha came from the Bharata, the very famous king. And this Bharata, he was the son of Dushmanta and Shakuntala. Now, friends, we must know the story in brief. That Dushmanta was the king, and Shakuntala, she grew up in an ashrama. Now, ashrama psychology is always service, always sacrifice, the truthfulness, and all those wonderful spiritual qualities. Now, the mother, she was having those qualities. But the father, Dushmanta, he was a Kshatriya. He came and he saw that lady, he came for hunting, saw that lady over there and married her, then went back and forgot. That's a wonderful story. The kings are like that. When they came, and in those days, the Kshatriyas, they could do like this. Whenever they like, they could marry, and then they will go back. Sometimes they will remember, sometimes they forget. Now the Shakuntala, slowly, she became mother. Then what will happen? And the father was a rishi. he understood and he sent the Shakuntala to the king's place. King, of course, gave a ring to Shakuntala and said, if I forget, please show this ring and I will remember. Unfortunately, when she was crossing the river, the ring fell in the water. And that a fish that took that ring. And the fish was caught by a fisherman. And that fish was sold to the king's palace, Dushmanta's palace. When they opened the fish, they found that ring. And whenever they found that ring, it is a very costly king's ring, then they were wondering where from it came. And the king, the moment he saw that ring, and he remembered, oh yes, I gave that to that lady. So he remembered and he came back and then he took that, accepted her as her wife. Their son is the Bharata. And he became, Bharata came from him. There's another story that says, and the Shakuntala came back insulted from the king, and the ashrama said, no problem, stay with us. She gave a birth to this young boy, and he became almost like 10 or 12 years old, the young, very powerful, the strong young man. And one day, the same king Dushmanta came and he saw a boy is playing with the lions, not afraid of the lions. And sometimes he's opening the mouth of the lions forcefully. He said, my God, this boy cannot be a Brahmana. Brahmanas are not that strong. It must be a Kshatriya. And ultimately, he found it is his own son. So that is the whole story. And the name of the land became Bharatvarsha from this Bharata. But the uniqueness of the culture of this land, that it belongs to group. First is the Kshatriya, that is majestic, very powerful, and hankering for the wealth, material wealth. At the same time, the undercurrent of giving up everything and the service and the truthfulness and the love. So two culture mingled, and that is the culture of India. So because of the Bharata. In this land, there was a famous dynasty called Ikshaku. And a famous king of that dynasty was Dasharata. Now, Ratha, again, if we go to the Purana, we find Rathi. Rathi means one who is driving the chariot. But here the Ratha means who could control 10,000 soldiers. Under him, he was the Ratha. Dasharatha, he was the, Dasha means 10. So that means 10,000 into 10. That was the power of that man, and he used to have that many soldiers under his control, and he was a great fighter and wonderful king. Raghu Kula, Raghu is the founder of that clan. Dasharatha's grandson, Dasharatha, the grandson of Raghu, and he was the ruler of Koshala. Usually, whenever we think about the Dasharatha, we think about the Ayodhya. Ayodhya was nothing but the capital of that country. But the land was known as the Koshala. The Ramayana described the king Dasharatha as the supreme ruler of Dravida. Dravida means present-day Andhra Pradesh, Sindhu, the present-day Punjab, then Shauvira, Shaurashtra, that is the Gujarat, Dakshinapatha, that is the southern part of India, Banga, Bengal, Anga, Odisha, Magadha, Bihar, Matsya, that is called again the Madhya Pradesh, and Kashi, that means the UP, Uttar Pradesh. Almost the whole India was under the ruler of this. So when we talk about the Ramayana, we only talk about the Ayodhya, and we think, oh, that much. It is not. It was a huge country. And the country means, again, we have to understand, it was not directly ruled by the king. Other kings they used to rule, but they used to pay taxes to this person. So he became the supreme ruler. So here he was not having any child, so naturally he was thinking what will happen. The 5th and 6th chapter of the Balmiki Ramayana describe the capital as the width is 3 yojana and length 12th yojana. That was the capital. There was roads and avenues, flower gardens, and big marketplaces, art and culture centers. People used to move on elephants, horses, camels, and city was full of houses. One line would be sufficient if we mentioned about the Ayodhya. There it mentioning in another scripture, Siddhanam tapasadikam divi. Siddhanam, those who are practicing spirituality, they even wanted to live in that city. Why? It was very protected. So all facilities were there. The place where even the realized souls seeks the residence. The city's security system was excellent. That's why its name was Ayodhya. By war, one cannot conquer this city, Ayodhya. King Dasharata had 3 queens. Kaushala, she was from the Koshala, and then Kaikeyi from the Jalandhar, Punjab, and Sumitra from the south. Mostly the kings, they used to marry for their kingly relations. So if you marry from that particular land, they become your friend because of the relative. So there are 3 wives. And a very famous priest was there, is called Vashishta Muni. He was having 8 ministers as advisors, and one of them was Shumanta. Why we are mentioning the name Sumanta? Sumanta is the person who drove Sri Ramachandra. Though he was low born, but a great economist and a friend of the king Dasharata. Why they mentioned in the low born? Because in those days there is no differences. Just because of the birth, not like that. Because of the quality, the king made him his own friend, and he was the main advisor in economy. Another name, it has been mentioned over here as the friend of the king Dasharata, who was the mighty king, is the Guhaka Chandala. He was also very low born, but he was having the unique friendship with all these people. One line has been mentioned about the Dasharata to give us an idea that he was friendly with so many people, with almost the whole population was very friendly with him. There were 3 different civilizations. Now another, they are mentioning, what are the civilizations? Nara civilization means human civilization, and there were ashramas, palaces, and civic life and rules. That is called Nara. Another civilization, Banara, the hill tribe, and then finally Rakshasas. These Rakshasas and the Naras, they were almost the same. Rakshasas were also having a huge civilization. They were controlling a huge plot of land. Nara civilized society, Dasharata, Janaka, Kekaya, all they were there, the rulers. Rakshasa is an advanced society. Supreme king at that time was Ravana, and Ravana was well versed in Sanskrit scriptures, Vedas, and many of them were having mystical power. that we will find in the story of the Ramayana, how they are utilizing their mystical power. And that deer, it became the golden deer and all that, we will come to know about. So they were having this type of mystical power, these Rakshasas, but very unfortunately, they were not very particularly with the Vanaras and the Nara civilization, they were not friendly. Vanara civilization is a wrong conception that our people are having, that the monkeys on the trees, they are all Hanumanas. Completely wrong conception. They were the human being. They used to live in Himalaya, Mahendra Hills, Binda Hills, Kailasha, and Dakshinata in the southern hills. That means the hilly tribes, they were very powerful, and that is the reason when Sri Rama, he wanted to go against the war with the Ravana, and they told, let us wait and bring all our soldiers. So they came not only from one place, from all over the hills. And these monkeys, the hill tribes, there were people like Nala. The Nala was one of the ministers of the Sugriva, was an engineer. This Nala gave the design to make the bridge. And also, he discovered one type of machine that could break and bring the huge stones. Used to go and break the hills and carry the, we can imagine nowadays the big rollers that they are working over here, that type of, this Nala and was the engineer. There are clear references in the Ramayana, Balmiki Ramayana, that the Vanaras from among that is a Mahavira, Kopilanam kila langulam ishtam bhavati bhushanam. Now, what about the tails of the Kapilas? Kapila means the monkeys. But they said actually they used to fix it with their dress. Why? That they liked it. Even now in the modern society, when we think about our best team, we give the name some of the animals. The Chicago Bulls. Does it mean they are all bulls? The symbol is a bull, and that is not the bull. Now, White Sox, what does it mean? That only like that, different names are there, and the Kapila, they also used to be the human being, but tribals and strong, educated, cultured, and they came and joined with the Ramachandra. Kapila nam kila langulam ishtam. Ishtam means they used to like that. And bhavati bhushanam. For their dress, they used to like a tail with their dress. Now, abidya, we find the word abidya, fixing. When the Hanumana was preparing to jump, and it mentioned over there, he took up his tail and fixed with him. How can a tail be fixed like that? And they could utilize that tail. Maybe some spring was there. They could utilize to make it long, make it short, and different way they used to use. Before entering into the real Ramayana, we must know these people, because they will be coming again and again, and they are the characters in the Ramayana. Some of the word versed in the Vedic scripture also, like Hanumana, who fast made Rama and Lakshmana dressed like a Brahmana. Now, if they were the real monkeys, how they could change the feature? He came just like a human being. And at that time, they were not wearing the tribal dress, wearing the human dress, and that too white color. And the white colored dress means they are Brahmana, they are dedicated for scripture, studying and meditating. So people used to honor them, will never fight with them. So he came first time meeting the Rama because he never knew the Rama and Lakshmana, how they are. So first time he took that protection. But the question is, if they were truly the monkeys of the trees, could he change like that? And he spoke in flawless Sanskrit. The Hanumana came and talked with the Lakshmana. Rama didn't talk. Rama was observing the Hanumana. Rama was also suspicious because these two brothers, only two brothers, they were going in that wonderland. So they were also taking the protection. So Rama stood little away, and when this Lakshmana and Hanumana talked, after the Hanumana left, Rama appreciated his language. He told his brother Lakshmana, did you notice that without any mistake in Sanskrit grammar he spoke? He must be a learned person. And with the confidence that he was speaking, that means they are not ordinary people. We can believe them. So that way. Then when you meet the Tara, is the queen of the Bali, and after the killing the Bali, the brother, he promised that he will help the Rama, but then forgot. He was going on drinking and merrymaking. Then Rama became worried and the Lakshmana angry. So when the Lakshmana came, this lady, the Tara, she was highly cultured and qualified. She spoke to Lakshmana, and she used the word Prithagajana. Friends, we have to understand this civilization. Otherwise, we'll make the mistake. Sitting far, far, so many thousands of years afterwards, we won't be able to understand why they behave like that. But one thing we must make ourselves clear, they were not monkeys and all. The Tara, the beautiful lady, the queen, she told Prithagajana, I have the references, 435:8 in that Ramayana. Prithagajana means we are different than you. You are from the human clan. You are from the human civilization. Your civilization is different, and our civilization is different. If you go to the Africa, even in the movies we find, when they are blessing, some tribes are there, when they are blessings, they're loving, they're showing the great love, they'll spit on their hand, and that they will put on your head. And suppose someone is doing over here, then what will happen? We have to run to wash our head and all that. But that is the culture. You cannot just deny that. That is the way they do, that is the way they behave. So different culture is there. Tara told, you are thinking that they should not drink, they should not make all these things. But in our culture, these are all allowed. So we are different than you. Prithagajana, we are different from your culture. Now about the Bali, who was such a powerful person, and he grabbed the whole thing. But the Bali used to perform japa and dhyana, the meditation and taking the name of Lord, 3 hours continuously every evening. Every evening he used to go and sit by the side of the ocean, he used to meditate for 3 hours. No animal can control the mind. No, unless the human, no one can meditate. Controlling the mind, it is only the human being that can do, no one else. So that is the reason they were civilized people, and they were human beings, but their names were like that. The social and political scenario of the ancient Jambu Deepa or the Bharata, it changed. And in this scenario, in this situation, one day, the great Muni means the thinker, Narada, he used to travel different places, and he met another very famous person, Balmiki. Balmiki was a great sage. He was having a school, and Valmiki, he was a realized soul and he sat and not very happy. Then the Narada came. And then in their conversation, we first find Balmiki, and with this only the story begins. But before that, there is another story when this Balmiki, he was, no, after this only it came, so he met the Narada and he asked, Ko osmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmagyascha कृतज्ञश्च सत्ववाक दृढ़व्रता आत्मवान को जित क्रोधो दूतिमान को अनसूयक कस्य बिभ्यति देवाश्च जात रोषस्य समयुगे. That is the first verse of the Ramayana. He is asking a question. Why he is asking a question? Because he was not happy. Why he was not happy? Because he saw all around the things have changed. What has changed? Because he was from the Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga, everything was so good. Now from that, it is a Treta, Satya Treta, things are changing. People are not keeping words. Some of the people, they were showing their ego. They're fighting with each other. Hence, this rishi, he was not happy. What is happening all around us? Now, from America, when you go to India sometimes, and we see that they could make the things better, and when you go and tell them, they become angry. It is okay for us. If you don't like, go back to America. So, because it is like that only, they are habituated. So they were habituated for the better things in the Satya Yuga. Now Treta Yuga, a little only changed. Most of the people were good. But even then, the Ravana, the Bali, and many others, they were changing. And these three cultures, they were coming close to each other, particularly the Rakshasa culture, they were penetrating into the Nara culture, the human culture. So all this. So he was not at all happy. That is why he is asking, Ko asmin sampratam loke. Sampratam means the contemporary. The contemporary at the time of the Balmiki. Is there any person, gunavan, who is having all the qualities, noble qualities? Also, birjavan, heroic. Dharmagascha, virtuous, kritagascha, grateful, satyavaka, truthful, didabhrata, firm in keeping the promises, atmavan is a self-confident, jita krodha, he has conquered his anger, dutiman, very handsome, anasuyakaha, forgiver of other fault, anasuyakaha, one who can forgive the other's fault. Kasya bibbhati devascha. Even sometimes when he is angry, that means his personality, it must be such, even the gods will be afraid of him. So sometimes the humble people are there, but no one cares about him. But there should be the person, if necessary, when they stand up, when they talk, their personality, even the people like gods, those who are having a lot of qualities, they are also afraid of him. Sampratam loke, that is the very important. What is the samprata? At the time of him. But that means they were seeing in their culture, in their society, some things were not correct. Like people were not qualified. He noticed it. And he was unhappy because the people are becoming like this. You know, we were born in some places, then we go over there. At our time, this thing was so wonderful. Now things have changed so much. Why people are behaving like this? We feel like that. Then we inquire, still the people are there, the good people who are truthful, who are like this. Now we sometimes think about the God realization. We were just discussing what is God realization. Look at this. They're thinking about the qualities that manifest in a human being and that makes him God. So what are the qualities? We will come to this answer. Oh Narada, do you know anyone in the present day world who is noble, heroic, virtuous, grateful, truthful, firm of his promises, self-confident, and constant, can conquer anger, good-looking, and forgive others' fault? When angry, even the gods are afraid of him. Now, we'll go back to one step, what is how this creation happened. The Supreme Being, whom sometimes the Vedanta call as Brahman, or sometimes Atman, or Paramatman, he thought that he will create. That is the way the Hindu thinks, that the Supreme Being thought, I should create. I should create this universe, create the world. So he made a person who will work for him. And that person was known, and that Supreme Being take a form, Vishnu. Name of the word, meaning of the word Vishnu, all pervading. Vistareti Vishnu. So that is called Vishnu. He created Brahma, and Brahma is his agent who will create. Now, how the Brahma will create is the qualities and the guna, the knowledge and the quality. What is the knowledge? Veda. And if you look, that they have drawn the picture of this Brahma as a forehead. The symbolic, he is not having the forehead. He was having the total knowledge of the Veda. And as because the Veda was divided into 4 parts, Rik, Sham, Yaju and Atharva, so Brahma as if he is having 4 heads. This is also another trouble to understand Hinduism. So much of symbolism that we are confused. How can a man can have 4 heads? Forget about 4 heads. Ravana was having 10 heads. And Dashamukha Ravana. It is actually they wanted to say, if you put the 10 people together, then it becomes the Ravana. The intellect and the power was so much in that person. And this Brahma, he was having all knowledges and also the quality by which he could create. And what are those qualities? Sattva, Raja and Tama. Sattva guna, Raja guna and Tama guna. What is Sattva guna? All good qualities. Raja guna and Tama guna. Tama guna, all bad qualities. Now Raja comes in between. It is a mixture of Sattva and Tama. And most of the human beings are Rajaguni, because it is a mixture of good and bad. So these are the 3 qualities. And the Brahma himself, he made 4 divisions in the total creation. It's a huge, long time. And he created Satya Yuga, then Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. In the Satya Yuga, we do not find that Lord is coming down to take care of the human being. No avatara in Satya Yuga. And Treta Yuga, first time the Lord Vishnu is coming as Sri Ramachandra, but not as Sri Ramachandra with his brothers and all. So here the Brahma, he used all good quality to create the Satya Yuga. And Satya Yuga is also known as Krita Yuga, Krita, Krita. Krita means all achieved, the ultimate goal. There were rishis, there were kumaras, and they were all good people. So there was no problem. The Lord has not come and taken any avatar. After that Satya Yuga, Brahma used some Raja and also Tama and mixed with the Satya, and ultimately he created. And in that we find Bali, Ravana's different brothers. Among the brothers of the Ravana, he had a brother who was very good quality. And he said, you should not tell lies. You should not torture others. Why you have abducted others' wife? You must return her. Like that. And Ravana was not happy with that brother. There is another brother who used to eat and sleep. That means he was the symbol of Tama. Then Sattva. And Ravana was the mixture of Sattva and Tama. He was the Rajaguni. And thinking that he was made a mistake, the Brahma reported to the Supreme Being, Vishnu, and got the assurance that he will go in the Trita Yuga as an avatar as Rama. Now from here, the Rama is that Brahman who is taking the human form, and the avatar is coming. Avatarana, coming down. It's not down or up. It's just taking the form. Why? To guide the people, particularly human being, towards the righteousness, the path of righteousness. Now there in this Treta Yuga, Lord appeared in different forms as 4 brothers and also a great devotee, Anumana. Then I am not going to all the stories because one after another is connected and it will go on that we cannot complete. We will enter into Ramayana maybe from the next month. Here the story was like this. This king was unhappy as because he was not having any children, any issue. Then what will happen to huge kingdom? Then some of the ministers, they told, why don't you perform a putreshti yajna? It is a sacrifice with the mantras. Friends, sometimes we doubt how that can be. Can a mantra perform like that and then effect can come? Why not? If people taking the name of Lord constantly can realize God, can't their physical changes can't come so that they can also have the capacity to give birth of a child? All the 3 ladies, they were not having that. So the Putrishti Yajna was performed, and they say that a small quantity of porridge, it came out of that. That means they performed that, and out of that they decided this is the medicine that you should take, so that afterwards you can be able to have the children. The 3 ladies were there, we can imagine. The king, he was distributing, but the second lady, Kaikeyi, was not very much respectful about all this. She was a very good warrior, and obviously she was having some little pride, very beautiful, and having that quality, naturally pride was there. She was not respectful in this. When she was accepting that porridge on her hand, a little portion was falling down because she was not very much careful. And a bird came suddenly and catch that portion and was flying away. Devaraj Indra was sitting in that, and he noticed the bird is taking that porridge, and he knew that it is a very powerful medicine. The bird should not eat. So he asked the king of the wind, Pavana Devata, Vayu Devata, or the king of the wind, to go and catch the bird and take away that porridge. Pavana did that because he was very fast. So he caught that bird and then took that porridge and asked. What I am going to do with this? Shall I bring it back? Then the Indra said, no, you better go to the south and you will see on a hilltop a lady is praying. She also wants a son. Give that to her. And that was Anjana. So Anjana was praying. It is in the southern part of India, almost like not what's called Bangalore and that area. She was on the hilltop. She was meditating and praying. It seems that the Vayu Devata carried that, he gave it to her. So from that the Hanumana was born, and he is known as the Pavanaputra in that way. It's not the, but his father was another king. He was Keshari. There's a Keshari Putra, Pavanaputra, and Anjaneya. These are the three names the Hanuman is having, and many other names. The Hanumana, this mother was Anjaneya, father was King Keshari, and as because the Pavana carried that payasham, the porridge, he became like that. So this is the way it goes on. And in reply to the question of the Rishi Balmiki, Narada Muni said, yes, I know a person, Vishnuna Sadrisho Birije, Somavat Priyadarshana, Kalakni Sadrisha Krodhe, Shamaya Prithivi Sama. So we will be describing the whole thing in the next class. We are entering into the Ramayana, but we should know who is the hero. And they are asking, is there a person like this quality? And with confidence, Narada said, Narada is to keep information. He said, yes. In might, he is just like the Vishnu. Why he mentioned the Vishnu? Because that was the time Vishnu. Because Vishnu, he slain and punished the wrongdoers. So obviously people knew there's a very powerful. The Vishnuna Shadrisha Birije, as per the, if you compare as a strong, the might, it is like the Vishnu. Somavat Priyadarshana, and he like so good looking and so beautiful. Kalagni Shadisha Krodhe, and same person again, he become like the Kalagni, like the hellfire, a terrible person. And Shamaya Prithivi Shama. In 4 lines, he introduced the Sri Ramachandra. And Shamaya, and when forgiveness is like the earth. Who can forgive actually? Strong, powerful person. Those who are weak, they cannot forgive. They go on remembering those things and how to do this, how to do that, I must punish. And that is the reason people go and tell about others. And that is called himsha. Himsha means this, when you are going and telling against someone, you cannot stand before that and you cannot straightway correct that person. So you are in a different way going to another person and slowly through your words and taking your revenge. That is called himsha. One should not. So shama means forgiveness. Only the strong person can forgive. Once Swami Vivekananda, he was traveling with some Americans and the British ladies. You can imagine, 19th century beginning, in our society, when the ladies never came out on the street and no one could see them. Now here Swami Vivekananda, being a sannyasi who is not supposed to be close to the women, and taking these Americans and British ladies to Himalaya, Amarnath. Other sannyasins were there. They started criticizing. And one of them, it became too much. Swamiji never said anything. It's a long journey. Almost 7 days you have to walk to reach that place. So they were going and camping like that. Then in one day when they camped, they were tired. One person unnecessarily came and used some abusive words about those ladies and about Swamiji. Swami Vivekananda then became angry, and he was coming out from that tent when another elderly Swami, he came running and with folded hands told, Swamiji, please don't be angry. They do not know who are you, but you know who are you. Swamiji was the Shiva himself. If the Shiva became angry, then those people will be destroyed completely. So this elderly person, he was having the spiritual power. He could understand what is this Swami Vivekananda. So he came and requested. So Shamaya Prithivi Shama. Immediately Swami Vivekananda controlled his anger. Yes, okay, let them bark, no problem. So this Shama, he was having the power, but even then, he didn't take any revenge. So friends, we know that this happened with a beautiful thing that happened. Of course, everything, if you go through our Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is in dilemma and he is in despondency. Here also we find, after the discussion with the Narada, this Muni, Balmiki, which is one of his very famous disciples, he wanted to go and take a bath in the river. While going, suddenly he saw the two beautiful birds are playing. And suddenly from somewhere, a person came and shot an arrow and killed the male bird. The male bird fell on the ground, and the female bird was not leaving the male bird, coming again and again down, sitting near the dead body, and was crying. That the Muni felt, and he cursed that man. And when he was cursing, it came out, all those words came out in a poetical way. That was the first poet, he became the first poet of the whole world. And he said, Ma nishada pratishtam tvam asama shashyati samaha yat kroncha mitunad ekam badhi kamamohitam. O hunter, why have you killed one of these pair when they were close to each other? Forgetful of the surroundings, O cruel heart, you will never be respected in human society. So it was the curse for the hunter. After that he thought, I should not have cursed that man. That is his profession. But then he wondered, but lo, all these words came in a beautiful, systematic way. So he was also pondering on that, thinking on that. Then the Brahma himself appeared. And he said, all this happened because of me. I wanted you and your emotion to come out. This, the sloka that you have said, this is the first time the words in this way you have made. You should write the whole biography of Sri Ramachandra using this quality as a Kavi. Kavi means the poet. So from there, Ramayana began. Thank you, friends. We will start this Ramayana from reading the Ramayana from the next month. Okay then? Any pranam mantra? We will chant these two pranam mantra Nanya Spriha, that is the Prarthana, and then offering our pranam to Sita, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, Hanumata. Fast. Nanya Spriha Raghupati Hridaye Smadiye Satyam Badami Cha Bhavan Akhilanta Atma Bhaktim Prayacha Raghupungava Nirbharame Kamadi Dosharahitam Kurumana Samcha. Om Sri Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna Hanumat Sameta Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Who is this Ramachandra? He is the Parabrahma. Para means the higher. Beyond that, above that, nothing can be. So, Parabrahmana. Brahman means all-pervading consciousness. But now, for us, he has taken a human form, Sri Ramachandra. But he has not come all alone because it was not necessary. The problem was not that grave. So he distributed himself in the 4 brothers and the wife and also a devotee to teach the human being how the relation should be among the brothers and the relation husband and wife and also the people who are around you helping you. So Sita, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, Hanumat Sameta, Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. How come Hanumana? As I was telling, he also took the same porridge, his mother, Anjaneya, and that is why he also comes to the same family. And what a devotee should do, should pray. What to pray? O Lord of Raghus, you being the knower of all hearts, you know very well that I am speaking the truth. What is the truth? O Lord, bless me with unshakable devotion and faith on you, and remove any faults like carnal desire and other passions. So this is my prayer. So devotee should pray to the Lord, to the God who is residing in every heart. Please give me the devotion and remove my desires. Thank you, friends. May the blessings of Sri Ramachandra be always with us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.